I think we're finally live. I was just having just problem after problem after problem. Could not get the camera to work. I was like, what the frick? I finally got it going. I had to reboot the system. And, you know, that takes like freaking forever. But then it worked again. So I was like, oh, okay. Finally got it going. Problem is I run a dual screen and the other screen is in the same resolution. So this screen would be cutting out and everything moves over to the other screen and OBS would recalculate the size of the canvas based on the new resolution, which is lower and 4:3 instead of 16:9. And I was like, ay. So I would have to kill OBS, start that back up again. I'm like, oh my God. My God, what a fucking nightmare. You all right? I'm gonna say no. Hold on, let me just check this real quick. Oh, because you know me and how to tune guitars. It's like nails on a chalkboard. That's all good, and it's a little sharp. A little sharp, eh? My G string's a little tight. You know how that goes. Here we go. Better. That sounds right. But before I was like, wait, hold on. Wait a tick. Hold up. My ears are telling me. Oh, yeah, there you go. I'm just saying, if Hendrix were alive today, he'd probably be playing a Schecter Hellraiser. Probably. Do I have, Oh, I do. Are these, Oh, they are. Is the front ones too? No. But the sides are. Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. These are glow-in-the-dark inlays. I was like, if I didn't know any better, I'd say those are kind of glowing. And this light, the black light, will supercharge them. Yeah, glow-in-the-dark. Side nuts. You know, and just one other thing on this before we get going on the show. A guy pointed out in the comments, and he might be right. He's like, dude, that's actually a... You know, I can get this a little closer. He's like, that's actually a carved top. And so I was like, there's no way. But the guitar is actually about $1,600, so it's not... It's on sale, I think, around $1,200, but I think normal price is around $1,600. That's actually not crazy for a carved top, right? So I was like, could it be like a genuine carved top? And when I checked the specs, they were kind of saying it was a top and not, you know. So I don't know. My gut feeling is no, it's a veneer. But I haven't found anything to call it a veneer. It is carved, which would lend itself to being, you know, a real top and not a veneer, though not necessarily. And the verbiage on the website is kind of topish and not veneerish. So, sure. How's that for certainty? Yeah, exactly. OBS even affected the tuning. What's up, Calvin? What's up, Sammy? Ogre Lord. We got Scott, Frank C, John Doe, PC, Rich Retro, Puffer, Yeti Matzi. We got Matt. And Trolls. And PK and Eddie and Richard and Calvin. Exactly, it's a hell-raising kind of night. Yeah, they call it a quilt top. And they say on the website, it adds clarity. I'm like, well, if you're talking clarity shit, then you must be talking like a real top and not a veneer. But you never know. Marketing people, right? You never know. It is nice, though. It's got a killer shred neck, too. Not quite as shreddy as the Legator. But pretty good. All right, who else we got here? Did I say Trolls? Did I say Michael? Scott. And I really like a master volume. And we got Frank C, Ian, Eddie Faye, super lead. We got Mark. Got Delta Whiskey. Got Desert Doug. Got Rico B, Chicken Beak. Does sound good though. These EMGs are nice. These are sort of like a PAF style, I think. Who else did we have? Who did I miss? Dave, Michael, Doug, Delta. Yeah, right in the carbon fiber, in the binding. Oh, sure. Oh yeah. You getting enough fiber? Carbon fiber? Sure. Need more fiber in your diet. Slimmer than the Wizard Neck? No. What's up, speaker? What's up, dude? You got Evil Jesus. Austin G, Chris D, Yeti Matzi, I think I mentioned. What's up, Deanna? And Tactical, and AI Gaming, and Coots. Tony, what's up, dude? And the rest are here on Is the truss cover? You know, a truss cover might be. I think you're right, dude. I think it might be carbon fiber. All right? Hold on. Let's go to carbon fiber cam. Oh, no, I think you're right. It's the binding on the neck is it too. It's just more satin, where the one on the body is more gloss because it's a satin finish on the neck. So it is carbon fiber, but you just don't see the carbon fiber as much because of the satin finish, versus the gloss lets the light go through and the pigments shine on. John Doe. And Ken. I don't think there's any push-pulls. You got to be careful with that. Like, I'm breaking it. Just a second. Just going to pull this knob. They're like, that's not a push-pull knob. Oh, sure, no, just a second. I got this. What an intro. I was going to say it's a 13-minute intro, but more like 10. I was like 3 minutes late. Oh, that is good. What's up, Ken? It does have the glow in the dark. It does. Indeedly doodly. And they're pretty good size, too. Man. Pretty good. What's up, Thomas? Recently got a guitar with an Evertune bridge. Have you tried one? I have tried them, but I've never owned an Evertune. But I have tried them. It's a little weird if they're not set up for bending, because I'm just so used to bending. You're like, oh, wait a sec, boy, it really is in tune, huh? It depends on how they have it set up. You can set it up for bending, but you can also set up for not bending, which is how it was, at least the one I tried. Exactly. The Orange Micro sounds awesome tonight. Thank you, Orange Micro. Wait, hold on. There it is. See, I like a master volume. That extra 2.7%, you can really hear it. I'm thinking maybe more like 2.75. That's on the Badlands prototypes last night. Yeah, it looked pretty cool. That flame one looked a lot like the Jackson I have, no? The Ghost Flame. You know, even the inlays were kind of like a little bit like that. Between the binding and the inlays and the paint job. I mean, people are talking. And then the Bengal one. What's nice about the Bengal is that it goes up and down the whole neck too. So, you know, most of the ones you see, it's like a like a natural maple neck or something like that, and just the body's painted. But they did the whole, they went whole hog. Exactly. I thought it was a Jackson. It kind of had Jackson vibes, no? Tips on getting consistent pick squeals. It is kind of, it really is choking up and letting the side here, right? It's really hitting here. In fact, after a while, you can actually build a little callus up right there if you do it enough. Right? It's really the side of your thumb. It's really like hitting here, side of my thumb, and it's like that. So it's like having a finger there to like tap the harmonic every time you go past the string. It's like right there to get it, and it's a little bit easier on the bridge. In fact, I used to sort of grease up chords with those harmonics. Again, that's just I really am rubbing the side. It gets a little numb after a while because you're sort of scraping the side of your hand, and the side of your thumb doesn't do nearly as well as your thumb itself, because I think the skin like in your palms is sort of meant for constant contact, but the side of your thumb not so much. If I'm not getting, I will move my right hand. That's all. You know, you practice a tune that has it in it, you know. You know, just get that. I find repetition, you know, ad nauseum. It's a good strategy. All right, you're passing. How's the April Fool's album coming? April 1st, bro. Get ready for it. This side of my thumb hurts if I try to finger pick an acoustic. Oh, yeah, no. Acoustics will put a beat down on your hands, that's for sure. I actually play a lot of acoustic because it's my most accessible guitar when I'm over sitting in my normal desk chair. So I play that Ovation like a lot. Actually got to get up and walk over here if I want to play one on one of the electrics. So I wind up playing that acoustic a lot, and just fingerstyle because I can't find a goddamn pick. So I'm always just using my hands because it's like that's all I got. It's what I got right there. You can get them with your hands, but it's infinitely easier with a pick, for me anyway. Well, thanks, Hillbilly Metal. Thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah. It was A. Like from some movie. At some point they start doing a big number. You know what I started watching, but I couldn't get through it, was Wicked. It showed up on Peacock. I said, all right. First of all, I get halfway through the movie, and I'm like, oh, my God, how long is this goddamn... First of all, the musical numbers are going on, like, way too long. Like, oh, my God, these musical numbers are, like, forever. So... I paused the movie, and I'm only like halfway through. I'm an hour and 20 minutes in, and it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. And I was like, I'll get back to you. You're losing me. The red pedal over there, that is a Rev. The Rev, geez, I forget the channel now. Is it the 4? It's the 4, the G4. I had a 1 in 4 chance of getting it. And apparently it's only part 1. I know. I was like, oh, God, what is this? The Hobbit all over again? I mean, The Lord of the Rings was cool, but God, did they drag The Hobbit out. It's one goddamn book. You monsters. Steve could a 2010 laptop to cut live Wi-Fi. It should be resurrecting today. I replaced the hard drive and up there. Well, Windows 7. You couldn't get a 2010 laptop to really... I mean, you could if you had a copy of Windows 7 to install, but it might be a little tricky to find a copy of Windows 7 right now. And certainly the hardware won't support Windows 11. So I'm actually working on a system right now. I got a system on my bench I've been putting together today. I was going through my inventory yesterday, and I realized I had a case and a power supply. And I had on a shelf an AMD 2700X, like in a box. So, all right, so you get a processor, you've got a power supply, and you have a case. And I also have a GTX 960. And I said, well, that's a start. So I picked up a motherboard for $65 and an NVMe drive, because it has an M.2 slot on it, for like $40, and a 32 gig set of RAM. Because the RAM chips I had were only 4 gig. I had 4 for 16 gig. And there's only 2 slots in this. It's a mini ATX, so it's only 2 slots. So I just got 2 16s. That was $44, something like that. 44, 45 bucks, something like that. So everything all together with tax and everything, about 150 bucks. And I should be able to get a system together. I already got the motherboard installed. The risers were too high. I had installed. I had to pull all those risers out and switch them to, I had the half stack, so the smaller ones. Went with those, and miraculously everything lines up. George Foreman, God. So, of course, when you think of George Foreman, you think of the Ali fight. That was huge. If you want to see a really good documentary on that, I recommend the movie When We Were Kings. When We Were Kings. Look that up. It's really an Ali focus, but it focuses on the fight with George Foreman. And there's a little bit of Foreman in it, but it's mostly Ali. And then, of course, you remember him from, the George Foreman Grill, which was a huge success. Basically a panini maker. And it was very, very, that was a huge product in the 90s. It really kind of defined the 90s, that old George Foreman Grill. I mean, God, how many cookbooks were made for that stupid thing? That's how popular it got, right? He was the Ty Bo of tabletop grills, the George Foreman Grill. But what I really remember, and I can't even remember the other guy's name, but he had a fight in the 90s, 94, 95, somewhere around there. And he was losing. He was losing on the card. And he just got this guy with 2 shots, stunned him, and he knocked him out. And he won. It was shocking. He just caught the guy. Guy probably thought he had it in the bag, was cruising to a win. And Foreman got him. And he was like the oldest heavyweight champ at the time. What a friggin'... Oh, I just remember watching that and just like losing my mind, going, yeah! This might be one of the best fights I've ever seen. Amazing. And I think that was his last fight. I don't know that he ever fought after that. That might have been his final one. Michael Moorer. Yeah, I think you're right. That sounds right. Michael Moorer. And Moorer was winning. Moorer was certainly winning on the card. Absolutely. Hold on one second. I feel like my volume's slightly low. I'm going to just check my battery real quick here. Hold on. Check, check. Yeah, that might be a tiny bit better. I don't know about a guy who names all 8 of his kids George. Sure. The best line in When We Were Kings was Ali just can't shut up. Right? He is just blah 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 blah, talking trash. Just can't stop talking. And George Foreman, you can't get him to say a word. He's a quiet guy. And finally, after a big tirade by Ali, he goes, I don't like him. He talks too much. Oh, Ali was the best. William. We watched Rocky 1 over the weekend, still holds up. Some movies do hold up. They really do. All right, God, the Ali Howard Cosell. Howard Cosell. I have a rapport with the people. I'm a common man, and that's why they love me. I like this guitar. I like the neck on it. It's smooth. Smooth as an android's bottom. Did he have a daughter? You know, I don't really know. You having lasagna there, Mark? That's what I had last night. It was one from Costco. It's a pre-made, but it's not frozen. It's like a fresh made. I think it was a, it's like a beef one. It's not ground beef though. It's like diced. It's like a sirloin lasagna. It was actually pretty good. You know, you got to really tenderize that meat or it's not a good experience, but it was. It was really good. In fact, talk about awesome. We just had a new Costco open up. The one we were normally going to would get so crazy. You couldn't pull the goddamn parking lot. You're driving around this building. You can't find a parking spot. People are parking on the side of the goddamn road to run in because you can't even get you can't get in the lot. It's so ballistic. I'm like, I can't. I've been going there since 98. And my God, these last couple of years, they have just been out of control. They had to open another location. And this location is like enormous. And it should siphon off people from the main one we go to. And we can go to that other one, although it's a bit more of a drive for us than the one we normally go to. Hopefully, it'll kill some of the traffic at the one we go to normally, because it's, my God, it's brutal. I did not see the Dead at the Sphere, but I did see the Grateful Dead on the 4th of July, 1987, at, I think it was Sullivan Stadium. Could have been Foxborough then. It wasn't Gillette. That was a new stadium that was built much later. But I saw, I'm hearing cats. I saw the Grateful Dead. Bob Dylan was the opener. And man, they were pumping out the hits, maybe because it was, I don't know. And they put speakers at the front of every single section throughout that whole stadium. And it sounded amazing. It was synced up perfectly with the video because you didn't have to wait for the sound to make it all the way from the stage to you. It was freaking fantastic. I have to say, that was like one of the best shows in a stadium I've ever seen. You know? Mm-hmm. Hey, what's up, Al John? Good to see you, man. think she's up there. I left the. That's why I'm wearing the coat. I left the. It was actually nice today, but it's dry, so the temperature's falling fast. It actually hit about 60, 62 degrees today, but the dew point's only like 27, so it's the temperature's falling like a rock. Saw Dylan with the Dead at JFK Stadium, Philly. Was that was summer of '87? Summer of '87, right? Pretty sure. I heard something back there. And then I saw them later at, I want to say Providence Civic Center, which is not a huge venue. And they sounded really good there, too. I have to say, their sound was really good. The Schecter is a loner, as are all guitars of the week. It reminds me, I got a new one coming out on Monday. Hey, what's up, Buzz? Good to see you, man. Hey, Guitar Man 45. Yeah, 87. Yeah, I think that was the tour. All right, that was the tour for, oh God, what was the big song? That was the big single, Touch of Grey. Right, it was the Touch of Grey summer. Touch of Grey. I'm not selling any guitar courses. Not yet. Give it till the end of the show. Maybe I'll whip one up. Everyone else, only 12 notes. Me, 1 billion notes. That's my promise to you. No fewer than 1 billion notes. You heard of the super system? Mine's the mega system. That's better now, isn't it? That's just math. On your foot control, you have 2 pedals. I suppose one is volume and the other is what? Yeah, I got on this one on the FCB 10. Is that what that one is? The 1010. It's got 2. You assign it through this software. What a pain in the ass that is, though. It's not an easy system. I really hope that, like, is it MIDI 2.0? They're supposed to be able to communicate and just, like, come up, almost like how General MIDI worked. There's sort of like General MIDI for controllers. I think that they're trying, just parameters, and it should make it easier, maybe? Because I tell you, it is not. What makes it easy is that I can set the THU software to just listen, and then I can do it. But I can't even get the controller to send out a MIDI signal unless I tell the controller you're sending out MIDI signals and not like patch changes. It's a pain in the ass. It's not easy. Exactly. It's the Super Mega Max system. The model number in there, the SFB Mega System 6000. I like that. These are really low ratio, you know, or high ratio. They're 19-1, and it shows. Yeah. Will winter-induced fret sprout fix itself when it gets humid again? Yeah, it actually will. Actually, pretty quickly, too. It's shocking how fast it goes away. I think it takes longer. I think it takes longer to create the fret sprout for the neck to lose its moisture than for it to gain it back. Is she up there? Oh, yeah, no, that's Cookie Dough. That's Sweetie. That's Cookie Dough Cow Cat. Oh, man. That was good. That is good coffee, right? It's pretty fresh. I didn't have coffee all afternoon. Got my friggin' taxes done, finally. Jesus. It's just marshaling all your receipts. But I got it. I got it all going. All good. Done diddly done. Have I ever tried other plug-in Ampsim software that sounds as good as THU? I don't know that if I've liked any of them quite as good as THU, though there are some other good ones out there, for sure. And it's weird because sometimes I hear them through the headphones and I'm like, I don't like the sound of that. And I'm like, I make the video for the software. And then I play the video back on my computer with the computer speakers. And I like it a lot more. Like through the computer speakers, I'm like, holy shit, that actually sounds pretty good. Maybe it's my headphones that aren't quite cutting it, you know? Because through these speakers, my God, that actually sounds pretty good. That was weird. I thought the, whatchamacallit there? Is it Nabrini? That's one, but, God, I can't think of it. S-Gear, but God, S-Gear feels like the sort of dropped off the planet. They have very few models, you know. That's where guitar. What's the one that's really taken the world by storm is Tonex, because it's just based on profiling. And so they can just profile and profile and profile and profile. And I think this might be true. It's like a GNU, right? It's an open source profiler. There's a lot of pedals coming out with that. Open source IR and open source amp profiling that sound friggin' amazing. But it's a way to keep costs down. You don't have to develop it yourself. You can use it because it's open source. And there you go. Kind of like how Android works. Yeah, Neural. That's what I'm thinking of, not Nambrini. Neural. Neural Audio. They're pretty good. But again, it's like quality versus quantity. THU is one of the few ones that gives you both. Right? It's either a shit ton of kind of shitty sounds, or it's very few, but they sound good. I think THU is one of the few ones where I mean, sure, there's some stinkers in any of them, but for the most part, THU has always sort of worked for me. Anytime I go to something else, I'm like, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not quite the same. The other thing you have to realize about headphones, too, is that they're isolating each ear. Stereo reverb, stereo delays, stereo patches sound different when you play them through speakers because, well, your left ear mostly hears the left speaker. It's also hearing a little bit of the right speaker and vice versa. So your stereo ears are hearing the stereo signal, but they're not isolated like they are on headphones. Your left ear only hears your left ear, and your right ear only hears your right ear. It's very different than when you're putting it out through speakers and there's some crosstalk between your ears. That makes a huge difference. It really does. You really the neural amp modeler too, that's open source as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's a way to sort of harness what's out there and, maybe make some money off of it. The first thing I saw when I saw it was open source was, how can I make money off this open source? For all we know, it's the same thing with, we got all these rigs. Were all these rigs, was that open source? We don't know. Was that a proprietary internal thing? Who knows? They don't really advertise it. They just say, like, well, we have it. But you don't really see how the sausage is made. So we don't really know. I'd have to go digging through their terms of service. All right, you have to start digging through, like, the about to see if there's any credit to developers, right? Like when you go through, what was it? Microsoft was based on Spyglass. Was that what they bought? And Chrome is built on Chromium, the open source project. Firefox is built on. There's another project, another open source project. I can't think of what it is, but. Yeah, you got a wedding year. That's a lot to consider. Yeah, Mozilla. Thank you. Mozilla. There's always some open source. I like Firefox. A lot of times when I have a website I can't get to friggin' open up, I try it in Firefox and it works. They seem to be like the most capable of like rendering oddball pages than pretty much anything else. It used to be you could try Edge, but now Edge is based on Chromium. So it's pretty much the same thing. In fact, I want to even say that their version numbers are lining up. So I thought there was some new stuff this week. I got some emails. I want to say I got an email, I thought from Gibson. They were doing something new this week. Yeah, the new Kirk Hammett. Kirk. The Kirk Hammett. Where I like to go is new arrivals, because that just shows you everything that's new. Wow, I feel like this was the last guitar we looked at. Right? This one here? I might have to. Can I? Oh, hold on. I'm going to have to bring that over a little bit. I think that's a little better. You can see the guitars a little better now. A lot of basses. And then a new reissue 335. Some new 345s. All right, with the yeah. Interesting. So humbucker in a P90, humbucker in a P90. Those both no, one's a hardtail and one's got the Bigsby, and then a couple of humbuckers, and now these new Les Pauls with the mini humbucker and P90. Interesting. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Oh, here. And then on the main page we have the new. Oh, it's part of Gibson Publishing. Let's go for this $800 book. Oh, damn. Hello. All right. Enlighten me here. What am I looking at? Help me. The deepest dive into Kirk Hammett's guitar collection. Is this a book? It is a book. 400-page coffee table book. All right. 300 numbered copies signed by. So this is more of the collectible version. Is the other one also a book? And it's just a deluxe. Okay, standard edition. 400-page coffee book. All right. Coffee table book. So there's the collection. That's a normal coffee table book price, about $1.50. $2.99 deluxe edition. And that's signed. Interesting. Okay. That's signed. Okay. And then, but these aren't. No. Won't be ridiculous. And these are signed. And what else do you get? 300, a huge 19 by 14.5 presentation box. Nice packaging. Outstanding. And an outstanding case candy package. Nice. In addition to a large format 17 by 12 hardcover version of the book with a lenticular cover. All right. Box set, frameable art print. Signed by Halfin and the Metallica guitarist. Which means signed by both Halfin and Hammett. Other case candy includes an Axe Heaven miniature replica of his Gibson V with case and stand, an exclusive pick tin complete with 6 Dunlop guitar signature picks, and a publisher's Gibson Publishing certificate of authenticity. Nice. There you go. It's like books and stuff. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, right there. There you go. You know what? To be honest, I'll just print this one. Why overthink it? Look, I got number 2 out of 300. You're welcome. So nice. That's a nice high-res photo right there. All right. Anything else here? I thought I could have sworn. Hold on, I won't bore you with me doing a search. I could have sworn PRS was talking about. Maybe they were just having a sale. I could have sworn they had just made an announcement. Oh yeah, right. This must be it. The new SE Exotic Veneer limited edition. I think this is the one. I got an email. Oh, yeah. Okay, Laurel Burl Edition, Poplar Burl Edition, and Burled Ash Edition. Okay. All right. The exotic veneer. Is it exotic wood? It's I like veneer. Well, veneer is a type of wood. Yes, it is now, isn't it? Oh, sure. They're not really hitting me. I mean, that looks nice. You know, that might be just a little bit over the top for me. I mean, sure. Do I have a Dayglow orange guitar? Sure. But the point is, it's a bit over the top. Oh, sure. I think the grain gets a little too loud. I think I'm more interested in like this than this. Almost a little too much. Yeah, kind of like a zebra wood. Or Zirco, that's the other one that was kind of hot for 2 minutes. Nice. Hold on. My foot caught on. There we go. Getting my foot caught on shit. I hate that. So how's the weather where you are? We were warm today. This is the time of the year where we start to go between kind of light coat weather, and, you know, warm enough where you don't have to wear a coat. It's my favorite guitar. I don't think I have a favorite. They're all dead to me. Feh. They'll sell you tomorrow. Yeah. Heritage announced this week more models on the affordable line. Interesting. So are the affordable lines still made in the U.S. or are they an import line? Yeah, really, stage one of summer. Exactly, my next guitar is my favorite. Well, I'm looking at it and thinking about buying it, and the second I get it, you're dead to me. Now I'm on to the new dream. Oh man, look at it's a nice. I can see myself playing that. Then I get it, and then I never play it. Story of my life. Yeah, we finally shed all our snow. I don't think there's not too many places out here with much snow left. It's been warm enough. Our snow all melted. Now, could we get snow between now and, say, the middle of April? It's possible, but highly unlikely. We've had it. We've had it before, the April Fool's storm, which was actually a pretty heavy storm. We've had late March storms, but we have nothing in the forecast, and the air seems like it's going to get milder. So I've been putting the snow shovels away. Yeah, we're changing the high-end kazoos. The Sherwood 59 reissue just started sweating, yeah. It should. It should be worried. You should all be worried. None of you are safe. From this angle, it looks like Scalpritz. It's not. Or this one up here, you mean. But this is no. No scalape. Just the normal frets. I don't tap too much anymore because I get a callus on my right hand now. You got to keep it up or you lose the callus on your right hand and it starts to hurt. Do do dee do do. Does William Bachman want to see what the Bach looks like? Okay. He's Bachman for a reason. I'm just trying to get it so you can see. As soon as I do that, you can't really see it, right? You got to see it without the... Can I get it? Can I get it down here? Is it going to be too high? Oh, it's a little high. There. Do 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 do. Ba-da-bee-bee-dee-dee. Got to use the guitar pointer finger? Yeah. You have the nut in the tuners. The fretboard, of course, is ebony with the offset dots and the cross, as you can see, at the 12th fret. Moving on to the body, of course, we have the EMG pickups here and here, but of course the tunematic bridge with the string through body. They were selling these at a fundraiser at my kid's school when they were in elementary school, and I said, "Oh my God, I want a dozen of them." Yeah, it does have locking tuners. It does. In fact, you got to check those sometimes. I can't tell you how many times I got locking tuners, and I'm tuning it up, and I'm like, it's slipping, and they're loose. They're friggin' loose. Look at that with regular tuners, God damn it. Can I have a force? Can I have a The 460 DX for Guitar of the Week. I don't think so, because I don't think the 460 DX this year is in the U.S. market. I think it's only the European and Asian market for the 460 DX. I heard it might make it to the U.S. market next year. But I don't think you can get a 460 DX in the U.S. So, unless they made a change. But when we looked at it back in January at the NAMM show, he was like, these aren't for the U.S. market, but you'll get them like next year. I go, oh, okay. And, you know, could you come out with the 560? You did the 570. You did the 550, right? Do the 560. It was a very popular guitar. I would say maybe even more popular than the 570. But they don't. They reissued the 570. They reissued the 550. You know, it crickets when it comes to the 560. The 460, no one wants that. That wasn't the guitar. It was the 560. Or in the alternative, the 760. 760 would be acceptable. Reissue the 7 Series, the 750, the 760, the 770. Those are all awesome. But yeah, I feel like they're going to do the 460 and say we took care of the single, double crowd. They don't like it. They don't like what's known as the California setup. The California, which is basically that or this, right? Single, double. That's the California, and they're friggin' against it. There's one up on eBay. Well, unless they carry it at Zounds, I'm not getting it. That's where I get all the guitars of the week. It would have to be for sale at Zounds for me to get one. If it's not at Zounds, it's not going to be a guitar of the week. It's that simple. Yeah, the Heritage Jack. Yeah, it's a Chinese line. Yeah, that's how they get affordable. Time to get a plane ticket to Japan. Yeah, you see a lot of stuff out of Japan, but it's a lot of stuff that they don't have. They go to the music stores there and they find stuff for sale, and then they just mark it up and put it on there. And if you buy it, they say, well, we might not be able to fulfill the sale. We'll have to see. And they basically take your money and they go buy it and then make a, you know, it's a bit of a scam. It's a big, you know, way to mark up. Corey's. Is that JMT? Sounds nice place to buy. I've been buying this since the late 90s. You know, the good thing about them, and I think they all do it now, is they have a way to pay interest-free over a number of payments depending on the cost of the item. Like 4 payments, 6 payments, 12 payments, you know. And as far as I know, it's interest-free. Waiting for you to get an RG 565. I like the 565. That's got 2 pickups, right? A single in the neck and the humbucker in the bridge. That triple pickup sold from last week. That TC that we were looking at, the power there. Oh, that's long gone. I knew it wouldn't last. They're really rare. I've been checking Reverb. I figure it'll show up on Reverb for twice what he was asking for it. I see that all the time. I can't tell you how many guitars I see up on friggin' Guitar Center. Oh, there it goes. Oh, look, it's up on Reverb for $1,000 more. You paid $699, you got it up for $16.99 on Reverb. You paid $1,100, you got it up for $2,700 on friggin' Reverb. Good luck. It says my connection's real good. Excellent connection. I'm sending out 30 megabits. And I all wired, and I'm running a 2.5 gigabit backbone with a 10 gigabit switch. I should have plenty of bandwidth. Reverb is riddled with dreamers. Oh, absolutely. A small crack on the back. What was it? Hairline crack on the back of the neck. No mention of the wood screw. It's like these people. You know, things all rust out. Rich patina. Oh, the video card market right now is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, just absolutely god-awful stupid. It's back to friggin' full-blown pandemic times. It is insane where the video card market has gone. You want to talk about inflation? You can't go out and buy a card that just came out for $550 is friggin' $1,800, $1,500. You know, a little slight markup. Everyone's buying them with bots. You can't even get one. People are lining up around the block at friggin' Micro Center to get one. It's literally the only way you can get one for MSRP. Bots are buying them up at MSRP and trying to flip them for, 300% markup. It is insane. So we're back to it again. We're back to friggin', raging pandemic friggin' prices on computer parts. It is really pathetic. RAM prices are down. Mobile prices are up. And storage prices were way down. They shot up. They seem to be kind of falling again. But goddamn if video card prices aren't just stupid right now. I mean stupid. Can't get one. Okay, let me get last year's model. Do you have like an an A580? They're like, no. A card that should sell for like, $199. They're like, yeah, it's like $450. Oh, it's ridiculous, the markup on video right now. It is stupid. And it's because of two things. One, crypto came back. So now crypto got profitable again to try and mine. So everyone's a freaking crypto miner. And two, AI uses that. And so they can use it. And really what it is a lot of them are making the choice to, they have an uncut, wafer. They're going with the AI chip because it's more profitable. So like the graphics cards go on the back burner as they try to like cater to every other market that seemingly is helping the bottom line. But NVIDIA took a punch to the balls the other day. You know, their stock price was in free fall. We'll see. CPU prices are just sort of okay. I think Intel's last, chip was a bit of a bust, which is always the case when you try to switch up architectures. We'll see what they do next year, but I think it's more power saving with their last one than really performance increases. And you talk to gamers, they don't give a shit about power saving. Like, you got a 97, did you really? Wow. Yeah. Got an RTX 4070, yeah. I have a 3080 that I use for my video work that I have to say I don't feel the need to change it. It does rip through my video stuff like really quickly. So I'm not feeling like... My old one, I was feeling like I was sitting there and waiting for it to finish. The new one, the 3080... And I've been using that since, I think, 2021 or 2022. Something like that. 2022, I think. Because they just got them back in stock, and I got it for $6.99. And it very quickly went to like $7.29, like the very next week. And I don't think I've seen it back at $6.99 again. I sort of lucked out getting that 3080 for, what felt like, at the time, max price, but what turned out to be a relative bargain. A pain in the ass. Could be a Taiwan problem where Taiwan, is it TSMC, TMSC? The Taiwan chip maker there. They just seem to be like balls to the walls working 24 hours a day to crank out all the Apple chips and friggin', they make so many chips for so many people that, they see, if anything, you're waiting in line. I use Adobe. I use Adobe Premiere for my video editing. And it can take advantage of the hardware. Before they had the hardware rendering for a 4K video, it would take 2 minutes for every minute of footage to render it. And then they really changed how they handled the hardware rendering. Even though before it was supposed to be somewhat using the hardware rendering, it wasn't quite the same. And then they really changed how it handles the hardware rendering. And then when you would hit render, it would take 30 seconds for every minute. It literally was 25% of the prior, right? Like a 4x increase in speed. So it's awesome. It works great. I mean, like I said, a 20-minute video takes me about 6 or 7 minutes to render. Very, very quick. If a 20-minute video took me 40 minutes to render, I'd be looking around at another video card. I want to sit there for 40 minutes waiting for this stupid thing to render. 6 minutes? Sure. That I can do. Does it have a doubler pedal? Not that I can think. Is the Dimension a doubler? Not really. I don't think so. Though, I mean, if you just want like a slapback echo or something, you could easily do that. But if you want something like a chorus, I guess the closest one would be their Dimension pedal. Yeah, that's what I've heard too. There's no money in GPUs. They want to sell GPUs for like, they're like, how about 4,300? Like, they're used to getting those crazy corporate dollars for their AI chips. And so that when the consumer's like, no, where's my 149 card? They're losing their minds. You know, that's peanuts to them, no matter how many you're selling. So we'll see what happens. One good thing was Intel getting into the graphics market. But now that CEO, it was sort of his pet project. Now that he's gone, you know, let's see how it shakes out in the next couple of years. It could be, you know, something where they decide the graphics market is just there's no money in it. But right now, I think it's providing cards and it's keeping competition alive in the video card market, because right now it's like it's gotten lazy. The last couple of NVIDIA ones were, you know, there's like a certain chip die that they would use for each iteration. They like lowered everybody's to the prior one. So like if you had like, you know, the 101 chip is the basic, whatever the 102 chip was the mid, the 103 chip was the upper mid, the 104 chip was the high end, the 105 chip was the super high end, right? Now they would make it so the super high end was the lower one, right? So now the mid tier, what used to be the entry level, and they just scrapped the entry level tier. And it was just a way to like rise everyone's chip up to the next pricing tier. It's like crazy. It has been, it's been shitty. But, you know, there's not a lot you can do. IGP suck. The Radeon ones are pretty good, but for the most part, they kind of suck. So I think right now, the best one out there, it wasn't even that long ago. Back in the fall, I could have got a 4060 for, you know, $289. Now you can't get one for less than $500. Probably the best deal right now, because they're around MSRP, if you're willing to wait about 4 weeks for shipping through Amazon, is probably like the RX 7600, which isn't saying much. It's not the strongest chip out there. Oh, that is good. No, Intel couldn't fab their own GPUs. I think they're being made by that Taiwan company, right? Processing power between the GPUs when it comes to audio processing for emulators, making software better. Yeah, I feel like there's been a push to put an NPU on every chip now, right? A neural processing unit. Let's see where that is in 5 years, and let's see if software comes out to harness that NPU and see if that actually improves the quality. I don't know. Yet another reason I like retro games. You need a late model graphics card. Yes and no, Retro Puffer. I kind of found out that because I was sort of like lulled into complacency, I would play a couple of games up in the attic with the 3080 just to test them out. Be okay. But then when I went to go play them on something with an IGP, right, like that 1220p, everything runs fine until you start to get into the advanced shaders. Once you start doing like shaders that have like that mirroring effect to make it look like the light is reflecting off the bezel, there's a lot more processing. Or you're trying to run like a PS2 game with some really high-end shaders, you know, something that's a little bit more processor intensive, or a Wii game. That's about where it ends, about Wii. Once you get to Wii U, it gets incredibly complicated. And same with once you get like the Switch, because Xbox 360, PS3, they all get incredibly complicated. Before that, you can actually run them, and they run fine until you get into shaders. Once you get into advanced shaders, it really starts to put a hurt on the system. Not my 3080 in the attic. That rips right through everything like nothing. In fact, I was playing a pretty heavy game with the max like shader on, and I checked it, and my CPU was at like 1%, and my GPU was at like 6 or 7%, and that's about it. But the IGPs, they just can't, like those Intel Ultra HD 770, 750, 770s, those Intel UHDs, it's just not the same. You know, I think mine even has the Iris Xe like architecture. It's still kind of weak, you know, compared to a dedicated. I think even an RX 7600 would crush it. You know, the most basic of cards. Oh no, the MPUs are coming. Yeah, ARC is fabbed at TSMC, yeah. Yeah, the 3080 is still a pretty good card. You know, I got it for the video editing, but I will test some games just to see, you know, because I just happen to be up there. And they're like, oh, this one's great. And then I trade on another computer. I'm like, oh, huh. Yeah, it's not. Because I don't really play games on that system up there. In fact, I don't really use that system for anything other than video editing. It's pretty much my video editing machine. I have a separate laptop I use up there for when it's like rendering or when I have to do stuff, and I don't want to mess with it. I learned the hard way, don't touch the computer while it's rendering. Just let it render the job and then get back to it later. If you're on there looking around stuff, you mess with the render. And it's a problem. So I usually just let it render, leave it alone, and I have a laptop I can go to. Limelight was one of the first songs you ever learned? I'm trying to think of the first songs I ever learned. That was probably one of my first, yeah. But well, of course, I'm playing it right now. But I think back then we were like, because my friend had learned it by ear. He's like, no, it goes like. I'm like, okay. But it was good. You find out later. I wonder if they can run Cyberpunk. Well, maybe my 3080 could do okay, but I think that IGP would just absolutely choke. Cyberpunk is like known as like one of the more GPU intensive, you know, games on the market. Really puts a beating down on most cards. So with any luck, I'll get that new system booted up tonight. I was digging through. I found a tube of Arctic Silver 5, but I'm like, oh, that shit's old. Arctic Silver is so friggin' 10 years ago. Longer. 15 years ago. So I found I had a tube of MX4, which is a lot newer. That's ceramic. So just got to throw some MX4 down. I had the I actually had the Wraith fan, the RGB, ring fan. So I thought it. I had quite a bit ready to go. The only thing I didn't have was the motherboard, the RAM, and I had a storage device. I could reach in a drawer and pull out, an old SSD, a 250 gig SSD. But if it has an NVMe slot on it, come on, for the $45, I was gonna put an NVMe in it, an M.2. It feels like a waste just to install an operating system on a friggin', 550 meg per second SSD when it has a roughly 3,500 megs per second. It's a Gen 3x4, not 4x4. No push pulls on the Schecter. I thought there might be, but there isn't. Nothing. Just straight up volume, tone. Quite frankly, I wish they just had a volume and a tone. And they just left this knob out. Don't need it. Master volume, master tone. That's all you need. Messes with my head. See? Neurosmos, if you're going to buy one of these and you're going to buy it from Zounds, use the link in the description because that's a tracking link. And if I want to keep the guitar of the week going, I have to show that it generates a little bit of traffic. So there should be a link in the description that will take you there, and it will show them that it came from me. And it gives them a little bit of feedback as to whether or not my Guitar of the Week program is working. And they tell me they're thrilled with it. So I don't think it's in jeopardy, but if you're going to get one, go through the link because at least it gives them some feedback. Got the EMGs with the, is it like brushed, like smoked chrome or something? All right. It's nice. I like this in the satin neck. Right there. Oh my God. My booba. Using the link. Yeah, nice. It does help, Did they finally release the trailer? I remember mentioning that they got greenlit. I think it was a couple of years ago. We were talking about that. I said Spinal Tap got greenlit. And they were like, no way. I said, yeah, it's coming. They're coming back with another Spinal Tap. I saw Spinal Tap live on the Break Like the Wind tour in '92. Schecter Blackjack, Floyd, and the Sustainiac, great guitar. I've been liking the Schecters. That's one brand I haven't played a ton of, and every one I've had, I've been really digging. I like that leg guitar too. I thought that was nice. I've been liking the Schecters. The Charvels we've had in are all nice. Just had that Epiphone I thought looked gorgeous. That was a great guitar. A whole bunch. They're all good. Can't go wrong. Just pick one that matches your outfit. That's what I say. What am I hearing? I'm hearing Cookie Dough Cowcats. Trailer talk. I know. God, we haven't done trailer talk in a while. Haven't really done a lot on the trailer. It's been full of leaves since the fall. I got a tarp over it. And I got to bring it up maybe next week. I'll finally get it up to the tip. I have some projects coming up. I'm going to have to get that stuff out of there because I have to throw some wood in the back. And the only way you can really do it is to empty all the leaves out. A Schecter Sun Valley Super Shredder. Really nice necks on those. Those really are a Super Shredder. That's a very, very shred neck on those. Did they break out Stonehenge? They did. Yeah, that was a crazy show. Last show of the tour. Got a little nutty at the end. There were some topless dancers on the stage, and I don't think that was planned. It feels like that was the last show of the tour. It was the last song of the last show of the entire tour. This was it. The tour was ending, and it ended with a couple of chicks in G-strings and high heels, and that was about it. Which was a little, kind of a stunned silence in the crowd. People were like, huh, it's, wow, this just took a turn. They looked surprised by it. I think it was like the stage manager, like pulling a little prank on them. Because they didn't know, they were looking at each other like, what is going on? For Big Bottom, right? That was the final song, was Big Bottom. And out came these two chicks in friggin' G-strings and high heels. And that was about it. And they were doing full-on friggin', stripper dancing. It was a hoedown. Oh, the Sun Valley with the Sustainiac. If you're going to get one, get the Sustainiac, It's so fun. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you're going to pick one to get, you got to get the one with the Sustainiac, no? Of course. Yeah, oh no, it got graphic up there. We were like, we're looking at, I was on a date. I'm like, I don't know anything about this. Like I said, it got kind of quiet. Got kind of quiet out there, like, huh, there were kids out there, it's Spinal Tap. It wasn't, pegged as rated R or anything. I guess it was PG-13 at best, but damn. That felt like like the production manager or the stage manager sort of doing a little something extra for the final song of the tour. I saw Spinal Tap on the Brick like the Wind Tour. 5 bass guitars on big bottom. Yeah, 5 bass guitars on big bottom, and I don't know if you remember, but remember he breaks out the Marshall half stack guitar, and then complains that it's not quite loud enough, and they bring out the other half. They bring out the bottom cab, which slides on. I think Jackson made that guitar. I want one of those Marshall stack guitars so bad. I just think that is the most awesome friggin' thing ever. And but it was a one-off. You know, never to be made again. He had the Marshall stack guitar, and it actually was made so that the second cab, there was like a groove it slid into, and it would slide onto the bottom and click in, and then you'd have the 2 cabs. And then basically you could see him turn the volume up. Oh yeah, there you go. He's like, he'd be like, I don't think it's loud enough. And then they'd put the other cab on. He'd go, there we go. Literally just turning up the volume on the guitar. Oh, it's the best. Tried the Schecter Nick Johnson HSS. You know, they wanted to send me that. It was so funny you mentioned that, because they had reached, we were talking, and I said, yeah, I got to come up with another guitar. And he goes, I got one of those Nick Johnson, HSS. You want me to send one of those out? And I was like, no, hold up. Let me see what I'm going to do, because I would get them 4 at a time. And then by the time it came around that I actually put the order for the next 4 guitars, they didn't have one. I think he even told me, I'm only down to a couple. If you want one, I can send it now. I was like, no, hold up. And then, of course, I missed out. Dummy. So, we'll see. I'm sure they'll get him in again. Yeah, you remember that, right? Bought the guitar by the sounds like nice. That they will love that. They will love that, because they'll see that it came through, It came through me, and they'll like that. They can look at their records and know. There's been a lot of Van Halen footage released lately. It's got, a lot of SMPTE code over it. Right? It's got a lot of freaking SMPTE code. It's annoying as shit. But it does seem to be new footage. I want to say it's from the Mean Street tour. I'm pretty sure. Would have been 82, I think. 81. Yeah. Could have been 82. I don't think so. I think 82 was Diver Down. 83, they did nothing. And then at the start of 84 came out 1984. I hope the wife doesn't kill you either. How about the Jay-Z, FRO? Yeah, you know what? They were talking about sending me one of those. It's got the flame neck, right? Flame maple neck. I'll talk to them. I'll see if they have one they can send me. I'll check one of those out. Sure. I like them. I think they have a couple of new colors, too, so that might be something they'd be interested in shipping out because they have a new model to promote. New footage is 81. Yeah, I thought so. 82 Largo, yeah. Yeah, 81, 82, yeah. Yeah, that sounds that just going by, because I think Eddie's wearing that striped onesie he used to wear, it's like a jumpsuit, and I'm pretty sure that's that tour. Right, that would be the Mean Street tour. I need to say the new Sterling by Music Man AX50. They do a lot with Music Man. That's one brand I did. I just felt like I was got so many Music Mans in a row. I had to take a break from Music Man. Getting a little nutty. Am I seeing a poop cat? All right, that's Cutie. Oh, there must be a cat up there. Oh, no, maybe not. All right. A lot of times when they look up and they go back down, it's because there's another cat up there. And nope. Oh, no. He's in the window. Nice to see Van Halen, but they seem to be mailing it in by then. I saw them on the 84 tour, and I thought they were kicking ass. I thought they sounded great. But on that tour, maybe it felt like it because they had been touring for so long. Sort of over it. They needed a break. Unearthed video is Van Halen live at the Capitol Center, October 11th, 1982. Yeah. Cutie is a very big kitty. She's quite the chonky. She's a little on the chonky side. Indonesian build? You know, that's a good question. Do they have the... Crafted in South Korea. It's Korean. So that's Samick, right? I feel like when it's Indonesia, it's Court. And when it's Korea, it's Samick. Okay, Steve, I'm back, and I got a guitar from Zanz. I ordered through your link. What did I miss? What did you get? What did you get for a guitar? What did you go with for a brand? What's up, Harley from New Zealand? More world music, right? That wasn't Roxanne. That was... I saw you so many times today, but I think you don't treat what you don't say. Right. What's it? G? Yeah, B flat to G. You also have a chonker cat? Oh, no, she's chonky. She's a chonky one. I remember picking her up just a couple of weeks ago and going, oh, my God, what the hell happened to you? You got friggin' huge. But she might lose it over the summer. They do tend to get a little chonkier in the winter. What the hell is going on up there? What am I hearing? Is that you? I think that was upstairs. Wife didn't kill you, she's down with it? Cool. What was it? What about the Gibson Supreme? But the weight, they used to be a fairly hollow guitar. I don't know that they do that. It probably is weight relieved, but they used to be super light because it was essentially a massively chambered guitar. I don't know if they still do that with the Supreme. I feel like the new one isn't really the same as the old one. It's a sort of a new Supreme, right? The 2023, 24? When did the new Supremes come out? I want to say 23. What pedals do you use, if any? I don't really use... I have a bunch in here, but they're off. Let me see if I can... Oh, God, how do you do that? Oh, yeah, right there. There you go. Just let me use my big brain. So there are the... As you can see, off, that's on, but the level is fairly low. Off, that's the amp, off, and these two are on. People always complain, but my effect is at 14%. So just do the math. That would make it, what, 86%? Like dry and 14% wet? They're like, you have so much effects. 24%, so a little bit higher on the reverb, but it's still 75% dry. You know. I use that, like, you know, once in a while. It's close, but it's not exactly the same. It's a little bit different, and then of course, I don't know. There you go. The wah-wah, I have to use my pedal. I have the pedal off right now. So anyway, where are you? You are right there. Let me turn that phaser off. With the Legacy Overdrive. What is it? I forget it. I'd have to think about it. I forget the riff now. Do 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 do. Right. Something like that. Do 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 do. That sounds like sounds like it, right? Dee dee doo. Do do dee 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 dee. Something like that. Well, I think the phase tone is supposed to be like a vibe. I like it slower. It's instant Hendrix. All right. Well, it's 9:02, and I gotta wrap it up. You guys have been awesome. Thanks. It blew by tonight. Got a new guitar of the week coming out on Monday. I think I have at least one more video coming out this week. And so stay tuned for that. And then, of course, we will do it all again in a week. I'll see you there then. So super thanks to anyone for hanging out tonight. Super extra special thanks for anyone who contributed. I always appreciate that. And, of course, Brofist to my mod squad. Hashtag Brofist. Hashtag mod squad. And we will do it all in a week. Hashtag where is Ben Coombs found. And there you go. Hashtag buddy cat. There you go. And I'll see you all next week. So, to check out Monday's video, I'm still deciding. I have two guitars. One's way more vintagey. One's way more modern. I feel like this is modern, so I'm probably going to go with the vintagey one. I have two that are very, very different from each other. One is way more modern, and one is way more vintage. I feel like we did the Epiphone. That was a little bit more on the vintagey side. And we did this, which is definitely more on the modern side, with the carbon fiber. And then I got one on. I'm going to go vintage. So I think I'm going vintage on Monday, and we'll see. And we'll do it. And then we'll just to mix it up. It's not the same a style of guitar every week. Try and mix it up a little bit. All right, check that out on Monday. I'll see you guys in the week. You guys have a wonderful week. I'll see you there then. All right.